In Harlem, the night began like any other, but by dawn, it had transformed into the most startling, breathtaking scene in hip-hop history. The inconceivable was accomplished by Jim Jones, the man notorious for controversy, loyalty tests, and public arguments with the woman who supported him for more than 20 years. Chrissy Lampkin's surprise 53rd birthday celebration. Don't get it wrong though. There was more to this than cake and balloons. This was revelry wrapped in treachery. This was a secretive love. Every grin was a dagger on this particular night. Visitors entered what appeared to be crystal chandeliers from a fairy tale, velvet walls, and a personalized ice sculpture of Queen Chrissy that sparkles in the illumination. However, beneath the champagne toasts and the music, there were rumors of unwelcome guests, leaking text threads, and secret intentions. The X was in the corner. But why? The video of Jim yelling backstage was leaked by whom? Minutes prior to Chrissy's arrival? And why, before the candles were even lighted, did Mama Jones burst out crying? Harlem and the entire industry were on fire as what should have been Chrissy's happiest night swiftly turned into an emotional battleground full of betrayal, conflict, and social media disaster. You believed this to be only a birthday. No, everything was revealed by this party. By the end of the evening, fans had stopped inquiring about Chrissy's feelings of love. They wanted to know if her whole enterprise was going to fall apart. It began like any other Harlem night. However, it had evolved into the most startling, jaw-dropping scene in hip-hop history by dawn. The inconceivable was accomplished by Jim Jones, the man notorious for controversy, loyalty tests, and public arguments with the woman who supported him for more than 20 years. Chrissy Lampkin's surprise 53rd birthday celebration. Don't get it wrong though. There was more to this than cake and balloons. This was revelry wrapped in treachery. This was a secretive love. Every grin was a dagger on this particular night. Visitors entered what appeared to such as velvet walls, crystal chandeliers straight out of a fairy tale, and a personalized Queen Chrissy ice sculpture that sparkles in the light. However, beneath the champagne toasts and the music, there were rumors of unwelcome guests, leaking text threads, and secret intentions. The X was in the corner. But why? Who was the source of the footage of Jim yelling backstage a few minutes before Chrissy arrived? And why, before the candles were even lighted, did Mama Jones burst out crying? What ought to have been Chrissy's most joyful night swiftly turned into a heated emotional conflict full of betrayal, conflict, and social media mayhem, with Harlem and the whole sector burning. You believed this to be only a birthday. No, everything was revealed by this party. By the end of the evening, fans had stopped inquiring about Chrissy's feelings of love. They wanted to know if her whole enterprise was going to fall apart. The night the internet declared war was the night Harlem believed it would be celebrating love. Rap icon, Dipset soldier, and eternally Jim Jones. To celebrate Chrissy Lampkin's 53rd birthday, Fianchi threw the most lavish, over-the-top surprise party. Fans had been yearning for a scene straight out of a novel. At last, the man prioritized his girlfriend, granting her the recognition she so richly earned. However, it became evident that this was more than just a party as the video leaked. Insiders revealed secrets, and real-time receipts began to appear. This was love masquerading as an emotional ambush. Chrissy entered anticipating a private meeting. Dinner, rather. She opened the doors to a location in Harlem that was awash in lights, curtains with gold trim, and a huge ice sculpture that bore the words Queen Chrissy etched on it. It rained balloons. Over 100 voices cried out in amazement as a Dipset medley blared. She was captured on camera. Real surprise. With tears sparkling in her eyes, she covered her mouth with her palm. Like a monarch crowning his wife, Jim kissed her hand while gleaming in diamonds and hues. Finally, the internet let forth a little sigh. That sigh, however, would not endure. A few minutes prior to Chrissy's entry, a recording appeared on Twitter. Fans panicked as soon as the leak surfaced, revealing a muffled backstage tape of Jim screaming, "I told you not tonight. Don't ruin this for me." To whom is he yelling? A promoter? A side chick? Someone claiming to be invited to the celebration. Hashtags started trending as soon as Chrissy stepped through the door. Jim and hashtag Team Chrissy were made public. There was already a divide among the fans, with some supporting Jim as a man attempting to honor his queen. Others believed Chrissy was about to fall victim to a well-planned deceit. The guest list caused a stir within the gathering. Unexpected faces were shown in leaked footage. At the bar, a known former flame of Jim's clinked glasses. In the corner, a rival producer was whispering to Mama Jones. The most mysterious of all was an unnamed woman seated a few tables away from Chrissy, her face hidden in every video that was shared. She was invited. By whom? She was there, but why? She was immediately dubbed by fans. Jim's attempt to manipulate the story through acting was the issue. Wrapping up for old Dipset affiliates, Christy, when the gospel choir sang, "You are so beautiful," she started crying. But when rumors circulated, the mood of the audience changed. Instagram was struck by leaked screenshots at the same time. According to a purported group message between Chrissy's closest pals, "Sis, exercise caution." Another direct message from an unidentified user read, "He's hiding something." When Mama Jones seized the microphone during a toast, it was the decisive moment. "She's in the room tonight," she said. "This is a beautiful night," her voice quivering with rage. However, lies are short-lived. The room was filled with gasps. Mama Jones rushed out, her heels crashing into the floor as Jim raced for the microphone. Her leaving became viral on Twitter a few seconds later. The fans went crazy. Was Chrissy being warned? Was she trying to harm Jim? Or did she reveal something that nobody wanted to hear? As Chrissy attempted to grin, the storm intensified. There was another leak. Jim outside earlier that night in shaky video. He put the phone to his ear. Even though it was muffled, his voice chilled me. "It's over tonight. If she finds out, stay out of the house." Theories became unmanageable. The woman with the blurred face wasn't a stranger. She did it on purpose. Jim was also afraid of getting caught. Next came the birthday cake, a 5-tiered spectacle encrusted with diamonds and gold leaf. Chaos broke out at the back of the room as the choir led the audience in a happy birthday song. 2 women yelling, security dragging them apart. As phones captured every second, guests yelled. The clip went viral in a matter of minutes. "You're his genuine date," one woman said, while the other shouted back, "Sit down. You don't recognize me." Twitter crashed. The hashtag Jim got caught was trending globally by the time Chrissy extinguished her candles. Celebrities quickly added petrol to the flames. In a tweet, Tamar Braxton said, "Every queen deserves her crown, not clown shoes." Cardi B, cryptically Harlem looking messy tonight. Even Camilla, a former love and hip-hop star, added, "Child, I warned y'all about these surprises." But the deadliest blow came directly from Chrissy. She posted a picture of herself holding the cake knife on her Instagram account. An anonymous Twitter account dropped the smoking gun as the evening deteriorated. Why did fans freeze? Was she calling out Jim? Was it a plea for help? Or was it directed at the blurred-faced woman whose presence everyone was now analyzing frame by frame? Jim is heard whispering in a woman's ear, "Don't stand so close to her," in a 45-second audio recording taken inside the venue. "This cannot blow up here." The blurred-faced woman was no longer a theory. She was the scandal. His voice was indisputable. By the end of the evening, Chrissy left early, her grin gone and her face obscured by huge sunglasses. Jim remained behind, pacing furiously and yelling into his phone. Who was the leaker? Mama Jones shouted live from her vehicle. "I told you." Fans remained up till dawn, analyzing every angle, and Twitter Spaces exploded with thousands of listeners discussing if Chrissy had finally reached her breaking point. Harlem is about to see the truth. TikTokers staged Mama Jones taking the microphone while playing dramatic music, and Instagram was inundated with memes of her saying, "Why a toast?" Then, just when everyone thought things couldn't get much worse, the infamous leak page at Harlem Truths dropped a bomb. First act. Tomorrow the actual receipts drop. The celebration was over, but Chrissy and Harlem were left standing in the rubble with a birthday that should have made her queen transformed into a battleground of lies. The party was ended, but the scandal was just getting started. The internet didn't sleep, and by morning, every frame of Chrissy's birthday party was still being broken down by video, memes, and fan theories. The real receipts, fans braced themselves, and the entire hip-hop world was turned upside down in a matter of seconds when the notorious leak account delivered on its promise at Harlem Truths the following evening. The first drop was a screen recording of purported text messages between Jim and the blur-faced woman. Seen at the party. One of the messages said, "Please stay away from the stage, but I'll put you in the back seat." "She is unable to know. Let me take care of the toast," said another. "If Mama says anything, don't respond." Like dynamite, the texts exploded. The second leak was even more terrifying, a voice note purportedly from Chrissy's phone, with Jim's voice crackling over the speaker. Fans were furious. Had Jim invited another lady, perhaps a lover, to Chrissy's holy birthday? Fans screamed, "Stop pressuring me about marriage. You already have the ring and the life. Why do you need the papers? That's just for show." Chrissy had been waiting for Jim to marry her for years. Twitter turned into a battleground as evidence emerged that Jim had no intention of ever getting married, and within minutes, a plot about love and hip-hop had been immortalized. Hashtags such as #Chrissy. One thing was certain though, Chrissy's party had shifted from being a celebration to more of a sham. Fans attacked Jim, accusing him of being manipulative and self-centered, while others defended him, saying the leaks were contrived or fabricated to destroy his moment. Celebrities couldn't help themselves. Remy Ma wrote on social media, "Parties aren't always for you. For the cameras, that is." Blasting Jim Harlem, "Don't play women like that." Funklex said live on Hot 97, "He's finished if this is accurate." Even Fat Joe added, "Man, love your queen in private. Avoid embarrassing her in front of others." Then followed the video that made everyone who was watching tremble. A backstage video appeared. Video of Jim and Mama Jones bickering in shaky low light prior to the celebration. It was Mama's voice. "She will discover. You can't keep her hidden forever, Jimmy." Jim retaliated, "Ma, not tonight. Please don't spoil this for me." The crowd let out a gasp. It wasn't only Mama's drama. As the leaks continued, she was aware that he had silenced her despite her warning. Chrissy said something. She posted 3 words on a mysterious dark screen. "I heard it, everything." Hysteria was sparked by that one post alone. Support was poured into her remarks by fans, pushing her to finally break up with Jim. Desperate to hear her side of the tale, others pleaded with her to go live. But messages weren't just coming from Chrissy. An enigmatic Instagram burner appeared that claimed to be near Jim's actual truth. The user uploaded a blurry snapshot of what appears to be a FaceTime conversation between Jim and the woman with the blurry face. Only a few hours prior to the birthday celebration, it was time-stamped. The photo went viral with the comment, "He told her he loved her, then went to throw a party for Chrissy." When Instagram attempted to remove it, the video has already received thousands of reposts. When a covert recording from within the party itself surfaced, the mayhem erupted. During the chaos, Jim's voice was whispering once more, "We will simply spin it. If this blows out, she will not be leaving." Supporters were appalled. Did Jim really think Chrissy would put up with so much humiliation because he was so sure of her loyalty? Mama Jones doubled down in the meantime. With her hair bundled and her eyes ablaze, she went living once more. "My son doesn't respect anyone. I told you all. Not even his builder, the lady. Chrissy is responsible if she remains." "I did say what I said though." The comment section felt like a battlefield. Mama was commended by several for standing up for Chrissy. She was accused by others of undermining her own son. In any case, the harm was done. Chrissy's supporters came to her aid while Harlem burnt. Emily B. wrote a message of encouragement. "Never does a queen plead for allegiance." Once involved in conflicts with Chrissy, Yandy Smith made a comment that raised eyebrows. "The tables are constantly turned." Speculation began immediately among fans. After years of animosity, was Yandy quietly supporting Chrissy or was she snubbing Jim? Then the unexpected footage appeared. Jim slipped out of the venue in the middle of the celebration and vanished for about 20 minutes, according to a leaked footage from the party's security cameras. When he returned, his demeanor was unsettled and his clothes was rumpled. Fans' theories went crazy. Outside, was he going to meet the woman with the hazy face? Was he attempting to hide the leaks? Or was the pressure just causing him to spiral? Though when Harlem Truths released a final teaser, the story took a further turn for the worse. An edited screen grab of a purported email exchange between Jim and VH1 producers. Chrissy's party plotline. Fans were shocked. Was the entire surprise party scripted for reality TV? Was this chaos planned? Was the subject line? Social media was divided by midnight, with #Team Chrissy demanding she go and completely expose Jim, while #Team Jim maintained the leaks were fabricated and intended to undermine Harlem's king. Was it for ratings, or was someone inside the network leaking private emails to fan the flames? Fans were obsessed with revealing the blurred-faced woman, with some claiming she was a stylist, some swearing she was an old flame, and some whispering she was much more of a hidden companion. and a new hashtag trended above them all. Hashtag who is she? Chrissy lived in the background for years as the world fought. Before going offline, she shared a video of herself blowing out her candles slowly and without emotion, with the remark, "Nothing's the same." The suspense that followed made the internet as a whole scream. 2 a.m. The timeline blew out when Harlem Truths tweeted, "Friday full video gym." Her Chrissy walks in. Desperate to understand what the complete video represented, fans pleaded for clarification. On her birthday, did Chrissy actually catch Jim red-handed? Was there hidden video evidence of the betrayal? Or was the most explosive exposure in the history of hip-hop and love going to happen in Harlem? There was no doubt about that. Once a celebration, the party had devolved into a controversy that threatened to destroy everything that Chrissy and Jim had constructed. And Harlem and the rest of the world rushed to make an impression as the complete video approached. Like a countdown to an execution, Friday arrived. Globally, fans waited at their screens, staring at Harlem Truths and reloading every second. Harlem was forever changed as the clock struck midnight and the post fell. The entire video was available, and it confirmed every rumor and every hazy moment. Every whispered leak appears to be innocent. Keep her out of sight. I'll handle this. Jim was shown walking a hallway with his phone placed to his ear as the blurry video started. A few seconds later, the blurred-faced woman emerged. Her identity was now revealed, no longer obscured. She had a Bronx-based store, someone who was rumored but never proven to have been seen with Jim years earlier. Her voice was clear as she leaned against the wall and brushed his arm while giggling. Do you truly believe she won't know? Then the event that ignited the internet. Chrissy entered the frame, obviously trying to find Jim. Staring at the two of them together, she froze. Jim's face went white. Chrissy spoke a single word in a whisper before rushing out once again as the woman grinned. The devastation was terrible, yet the clip ended abruptly. Within minutes, Twitter was inundated with fans. Hashtag Chrissy Kodum took off. Chrissy's heartbroken video went viral. Sad piano tunes are being added by TikTokers. She heard whispers from Instagram accounts looping her. Like an eerie chorus once more, it validated everything for many. Jim's treachery wasn't conjecture. It was true. To make matters worse, it wasn't the first instance. The consequences were immediate. Chrissy deleted her Instagram stories and went offline. Fans flooded her comments with support, saying, "Leave him. We love you, Chrissy. Protect your peace." She only left one eerie post, a dark screen with the words, "Fool me twice," screamed louder than any tirade. Jim attempted to fabricate the tale, going live nude hours after the leak, saying, "You believe anything you see on the internet." That video, old man old, that wasn't her birthday. The timestamps, the clothes, even the decor in the clip matched the venue, but the audience weren't buying it. He appeared increasingly distraught with each denial. Mama Jones returned to the scene with her own bombshell, revealing, with tears in her eyes, that I pleaded with him to stop, telling him, "Don't play with Chrissy's heart anymore." Denial made him appear more desperate. But don't listen, son. Look at her raw now. Honesty split Harlem and crushed its heart. She was commended by some fans for supporting Chrissy,